Good morning students, welcome back to Triveni Memorial Senior Secondary School online classes. Students, in our last class, we started with one of our another chapter from class 6 in geography, that is regarding major domains of the earth, and we completed till the major continents. So today we will start studying regarding the major domain of the earth, that is hydrosphere. I already told you the word hydro represent water and the word sphere represent a land surface. So out of the total land surface which is present on the earth and which contain all the water bodies in it, includes the lakes, rivers, ocean, or in any other form, compromises or frames hydrosphere. That is what said here. The earth is also called a blue planet. We have already studied this thing in our chapter number 1 also, that why earth is called as blue planet, because out of the total land surface, 71% of the earth's surface is covered with water bodies, and as water is blue in color and a maximum area 71% compromises water body, that is why it is called as blue planet. I already told you it involves your glaciers, your river bodies, water bodies, etc. Now see students, the total amount of water which is available to us is either in the form of ice, or is in the form of fresh water, or is in the form of saline water, or you can say salty water. So what we can say, the total quantity or the total amount of water which is available to us is not fresh water, that is not present for drinking or is not available for drinking, because maximum or the quantity of this water is salty water, that is ocean water, because salt is dissolved in that and we are unable to use that water for drinking. So that is what I mentioned here. We cannot use that water for human use. Why? Because it contains maximum quantity or quantity of saline, or you can say salt dissolved in it. And thereafter students, we will move ahead. We discuss regarding the continents. Now you can say this particular location is given here: North America, South America. This block represent isthmus which linked these two continents. This is Europe, this is Asia, the largest continent. Then is Africa, second largest continent. The smallest continent which is given here, that is your Australia, and last one is your Antarctica. Thereafter students, I already told you this thing, as we have very limited quantity of fresh water available with us, we usually faces the problem of scarcity of water or shortage of water on the earth's surface, and that is why we are always said this thing, that we need to conserve the water for ourselves so that we can use it in better way. Now the next is oceans. Oh, I already told you that oceans are the major part of hydrosphere because they contain water in it, and wherever we are discussing about the word water, that means we are discussing about hydrosphere. So what we can say, that all these oceans or various oceans, they are interconnected with each other. Like we talk about the continents, the continents are also interconnected with each other, either by any of the mountain peak or either by any of the river body. In the same way, oceans are also interconnected. Now we all know this thing, that the ocean water is not still. It always used to keep moving. That is, it always used to keep flowing. So the three chiefs movement of the ocean water, what is said here, the ocean water, as I already said you, that is always used to keep moving. It used to move in three possible ways. Either it moves in the form of waves, or either it moves in the form of tides, or it moves in the form of ocean currents. Okay, now we will study about these major oceans present on the earth's surface. We have total 5 major oceans which are present on the earth's surface, and these are Pacific Ocean, Atlantic Ocean, Indian Ocean, Southern Ocean and the Arctic Ocean. And all these oceans are represented in the form of their size. That is largest to the lowest. If we talk about the Pacific Ocean, it is the largest ocean and it is spread over 1/3 surface of the earth. Now again student, what possible question can be asked to you from here? Why Pacific Ocean is, first one is, which one is the largest ocean? The answer is Pacific Ocean. Second one is, why Pacific Ocean is called as the largest ocean? Because it spread over 1/3 surface of the earth. Thereafter, Mariana Trench, the deepest part of the earth. What is the name of that part? That is Mariana Trench. It also lies or it also present in the Pacific Ocean only. The Pacific Ocean is circular in shape. Again, this question can be asked, that Pacific Ocean is in which shape? So what we can say, it is circular in shape. So what we can say, that Asia, Australia, North and South America surrounds it. What does that mean? That Pacific Ocean is surrounded by all these 4 continents. Thereafter students, next one is your Atlantic Ocean. Largest ocean, Pacific Ocean. Second largest ocean, Atlantic Ocean. Largest ocean, Pacific Ocean, circular in shape, and Atlantic Ocean is S-shaped. Now it is flanked by the North and South America on the western side and Europe and Africa on the eastern side. So we need to remember this, that which ocean is surrounded by which continents. So here we studied that from which continents this ocean is surrounded by. So what we can say, that the coastline of Atlantic Ocean is highly indented. It contains huge quantity of saline or salt in it, and this irregular and indented coastline provides ideal location for natural harbors and ports. As this is indented, what are the ports or the natural harbors from where ships departs, or you can say your all the water bodies which used to depart from there, that is your ports. These are present on these ocean. That is why it is called as the busiest ocean, because all these trading activities, that is the departure of ships, the availability of ports is present on this ocean, and it is called as busiest ocean because activities are used to performed on this ocean, and the name of the ocean is Atlantic Ocean. The next is your Indian Ocean. The name itself is suggesting, you can clearly see the word India deriving from the word Indian. What does that mean? This is the only ocean which is named after one of the major country, and the name of that country is India. So why it is Indian Ocean? Because it is named after one of the country called India. Now if we talk about the shape of the ocean, the shape of the Indian Ocean is irregular. It is not any particular shape like we talked earlier, circular shape or S shape. It is irregular shape, and where it is located, it is in the north. And by which continent it is bounded? In the starting only I told you where is India. India is in the continent Asia. So it would be surrounded by which continent? Surrounded by Asia continent. And in the west it is surrounded by Africa, and in the east it is surrounded by Australia. In the southern ocean of this continent also extended, this ocean also extended itself towards the north side or towards the north direction of 60° south latitude. Thereafter students, what we can say, the Arctic Ocean is located within the Arctic Circle and surrounds the North Pole. This question can be asked to you, that the Arctic Ocean is Located where it is found? It is located or it is found within the Arctic Circle, and it is surrounded by the North Pole. So what is said here? This ocean, we are talking about which ocean? We are talking about the Arctic Ocean. Arctic Ocean is connected with the Pacific Ocean by a narrow stretch of shallow water known as Bering Strait. In the continent also, in case of North America and South America, what we discussed, that both these continents are connected by a narrow strip of land that is called as Isthmus Panama. Now we are talking about ocean. About which ocean? About Arctic Ocean. If we talk about the connectivity of Arctic Ocean, how Arctic Ocean is linked with the Pacific Ocean, then these two oceans are also linked with the help of a narrow strip of water line which is called as Bering Strait, and it is bounded by northern coast of North America and Eurasia. What is Eurasia? That we have already discussed, the common part of Europe and Asia. Eurasia. Then is your atmosphere. We have already discussed the thin layer of air that surrounds us is called as atmosphere, and the important gas which is essential for us to survive, that is oxygen, is also present here. And all the harmful rays, one of the important gas which protect us from the harmful rays of the sun, that is your ozone layer. Ozone layer protect us from the ultraviolet rays of the sun. This gas is also present in atmosphere. Thereafter, if we study, then what we can say? We can say that if we talk about the structure of the atmosphere, you can see here, the atmosphere contains various lower. The first layer or the initial layer, beginning layer, starting layer is a troposphere. Thereafter, the next layer of the atmosphere is stratosphere. Then the next is your mesosphere. And the next layer of atmosphere is your thermosphere. And the last layer of the atmosphere is exosphere. That is what mentioned here. So what is said here? This is said here that these are the various or the 5 layers of the atmosphere. We will study about these layers in detail in our next class, that is class 7th. Till now we need to know what are the various layers of atmosphere. 5 layers, and we have studied about those. Now if we talk about the structure or the composition of atmosphere, that what are the various elements which frames, which constitutes atmosphere, then what we can say, that atmosphere contains firstly 78% of nitrogen in it, then is 21% of oxygen in it, and thereafter what we can say, 0.11% other gases in it. So the major 2 gases which are present in bulk quantity or in huge quantity in atmosphere, the first one which is in bulk is your nitrogen, and thereafter second one is your oxygen. Then other gases will be there, like argon is there, neon is there, or other gases. All these gases are present here. Now see students, as I already told you that carbon dioxide is also present, nitrogen gas is also present. Now what will happen, you know, plants use nitrogen gas or carbon dioxide gas to prepare their food. From where they are taking this gas? They are taking this gas from the atmosphere, and usually plants do not absorb or take nitrogen directly from the atmosphere. Firstly they used to convert it in the form of nitrates, and then plants use that for the process of making food for them. Thereafter students, what is there? I already told this thing to you, that nitrogen or the carbon dioxide plays very important role or essential role in the growth of plants. So the density of the atmosphere varies from heights. Yes, that is very true. As you start passing to different layers, you started moving towards height, the density of the atmosphere increases, air pressure decreases there, and that is why you have observed this thing, that whenever we use to reach to mountain areas, we faces problem in breathing. So that is mentioned here, that when we used to go to higher places, we started breathing problem there. Why? Because the level of oxygen, air pressure decreases there, and that is why at high level, high density areas, people need to carry oxygen cylinders with them so that they do not face the problem of oxygen. Because if oxygen would not be there, you know that no individual can survive without the presence of oxygen. The temperature also decreases at heights or when you started upwards. You have noted this thing na, if you are moving in the northern sides in J&K or other than that part, what you will observe, very low temperature used to be founded there. So the atmosphere exerts pressure on the earth and it varies from place to place. Whenever we started moving towards the height, the air pressure or the presence of oxygen or the presence of air decreases. So that is what mentioned here. So what is said here, some areas experience high pressure and some areas experience low pressure. That I already told you. Why, where high pressure will be there or where low pressure will be there, that depends on the location of the place. Either we are moving upside or either we are at the lower level. Air moves from high pressure area to low pressure area, and this movement of air from high pressure area to low pressure area is called as wind. I hope you understand it, student, that what is wind? The movement of air from high pressure area to low pressure area is called as wind. Then the next is biosphere, the major domain of the earth. In starting I told you, students, you know that thing, that is simply what mentioned here, that the earth is a narrow zone. The narrow zone where these three components, land, air and water, used to interact with each other. Why they you are interacting with each other? For the existence of life, for the possibility of life. Then such a particular domain is called as biosphere. All the huge mammals, bacteria are present in this, that is biosphere, and all the living organisms, either they are human beings, they are animals, they are planets, all the animals, they are surviving on this particular portion, that is biosphere, and they used to interact with each other. So what is said here, in general term or in common term, if we say, what we can say, that in biosphere, I told you na, various organisms used to interact with each other. Plant kingdoms and animal kingdoms, they used to interact with each other. Now can you tell me how plants and animals are interacting with each other? See, plants release what? Carbon. Plants release oxygen and human beings are using that oxygen for their survival. On the other hand, human beings are releasing carbon dioxide. That carbon dioxide is used by plants for their survival or for making their food. So that is how these two, plants and animals, they are dependent on each other, interrelated with each other. Now what is said here, one more example is given here. Cutting of forest for the full, nowadays we are cutting forest. Why? Because we want wood for various purposes. We are clearing land for, we are destroying our agriculture for satisfying our human wants. We want wooden planks, we want our doors, windows, etc. That is why we are clearing our lands. So this is how we are interdependent, land, forest, and how human beings are dependent on them. Earth's surface may be changed due to natural calamities. That is very true. Nowadays you are observing this thing. Like if we talk about one of the area called Rajasthan, that is one of the area where usual droughts used to come. Droughts means the land became barren, no possibility of agriculture at all. Some areas are facing the problem of earthquake, major earthquakes are coming, tsunamis are there which also destroyed the nearby people residing in that area. But where tsunami exists, obviously nearby the ocean bodies or coastal regions. So what we can say that these natural calamities also has the power to change this structure. Now what we can say that out of the total land surface, the whole land surface is not inhabitable or is not suitable for human beings for their use. Some form of land is there which is not suitable for human life. We cannot use that land for the existence of human land. As I gave you the example, the region or the area where huge glaciers, thick sheets of ice are present, their life is not possible. Thereafter, what is said here, if we talk about industries, we talk about thermal power plants, vehicles, what all these things are doing? All these things are destroying or are polluting our air. So what we can say, and which is the major air which is responsible for the spoiling of air present in the atmosphere? That gas is carbon dioxide. Carbon dioxide is responsible for that. And when the amount of CO2 increases in the air, what will happen? The overall temperature of the earth's surface increases, and when the overall temperature of the earth's surface will increase, it will definitely brings heat to the earth's surface, and it leads to global warming or global temperature. So students, that's it about our topic.